we have the FOMC, right? We have another federal chair meeting, treasury meeting for interest rates. All right. So right now, I believe that they're forecasting a probably a stay pack, a no change to the rate. But I know that there were some rumblings about um, raising rates. But with the most recent CPI report, I do not believe that we're going to have a raise in rates. But let's get prepared for next week in the market. And we have Professor Jeremy Siegel talking about the FOMC meeting that's coming up this week. While also earnings is on the tap, very much, great earnings week is on the tap. But let's talk about the FOMC meeting this week and how important that is for the stock market.
Market rotation here to stay. Let's ask the Wharton School Professor of Finance, Wisdom Tree Chief Economist, Jeremy Siegel. Professor Siegel, thank you very much for joining us here. As I've laid out the market action and we kind of allude to what's going to happen next week with the Fed and interest rates, just how much of this market right now is going to be dependent on just a handful of key sectors and then, of course, your interest rate policy?
Yeah, both. I mean, some of the fluctuations have been wild. I think Wednesday was the biggest drop of Mag 7 versus the S&P in 4 years. There's some analysts that say, should we even call it the Magnificent 7 anymore? What moonshot, competition, margin erosion, and on top of that, as you rightly mentioned, next week is very important. What does Kevin Warsh think of this oil increase? 2 weeks ago, we had WTI at 70. Now WTI is at 90. And you were right. There's a lot of hope, but hope springs eternal, and we've seen hopes being dashed in the past. But what does Warsh think of this? I mean, is he willing to look past this or not? And by the way, I would not be surprised to see some hawkish dissents in the meeting on Wednesday.
In years past, Professor, we've heard and maybe heard some kind of, I guess, maybe sarcasm with regard to one word in particular that came out of the Fed and Jay Powell's Fed back in the day. And that was the word transitory. We don't really use it that much anymore these days, but still there's a feeling that the transitory or non-transitory nature of inflation is going to be a huge focus for the Fed, for investors. Is there maybe that hawkish tilt because we don't want to ever view something as transitory in terms of inflationary pressures and then be caught at least blind?
Well, we got to remember, I'm going to bring it back before he answers the question, that inflation went up when the war started, right? Inflation goes up, oil prices go up. Then we had a pause. Right, we had a pause in the month of June, I believe, and when the June inflation rate came out, the CPI, oil came down and inflation came down. Right, so the most recent CPI report was down, but what we've seen over the last week or so is the war and some of the tensions between Iran and the United States has then risen. Right, so now we have oil prices that are elevated again. But before it was down. So the Fed, Kevin Warsh, has a tough thing he's in a tough position because right now inflation is going up and down. Right. Month of June it was down, but month of July is going to be up. Right. May was up, then June down, and July is going to be up. So even in forecasting into the next month, and we still have the July report for inflation, it's going to be higher due to the fact that the war, started back up again. So what he's saying is the stock market is going to react on what Kevin Warsh says and what he does when it comes to the meeting that's coming up this past week. There's going to be volatility in the market on Wednesday due to the fact the Kevin Warsh speaks while also earnings, and we'll talk about earnings next. Earnings is coming up and how some of these companies and what their CapEx forecast is going to look like, what we talked about earlier. It's going to depend on how the stock moves up or down based on how these companies do earnings. So this week is going to be pretty crazy in the market. You got earnings reports every day you have some of the biggest companies in the world reporting earnings, while you also Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh having to decide on if he's going to continue to keep rates where they are, if he's going to raise rates, or even possibly even lower rates.
You're perfectly right. I mean, transitory under Powell, describing the COVID inflation, really became a word, like he said, let's retire that word. So that fear, but there is a good point. I mean, let's hope this war is going to be over. Oil is going to go back down. Oil will be in surplus going back to 60. So this is a much better transitory story, honestly, than anything over COVID. Government was spending trillions and trillions of dollars, and the Fed was, I think recklessly just expanding the money supply. So there is a case. And if you take what's called those long-term expectations, the difference between the inflation-protected bonds and the standard bonds, we have not seen anywhere near as much of a widening. Something the Fed calls the five-year, which is looking beyond the 5 years, which is cyclical and far out, has not seen any really appreciable increase in inflation expectation. Now, if Warsh wants to keep holding and makes the case for that, I'm sure he's going to bring that up. But there's a lot of people seeing inflation in those core numbers beyond just the energy, that I think are going to speak up and say, listen, I think it's time to raise at least a quarter of a point. So Wednesday is going to be a really important day, in addition to all these earnings, of course, that are coming out every day.
How much do interest rate X factor into whether in your mind is fair valued, overvalued, or undervalued? I want to just, earlier today, we had talked on the halftime report about Bank of America's Michael Hartnett issuing a note to clients saying that they do not yet see the level of interest rates as a threat to anything but bonds bull market in risk assets. I mean, that means even at 4.7% approaching 5%, that it's not an area that we think it's going to derail the growth and earnings thesis around the fundamentals in the market. Does that seem to click with what your research and what your analysis says about the market these days?
Not yet a threat, but we're getting, when Powell was stepping on the brakes really hard to stop much higher inflation 3 and 4 years ago. Now, I like to take a look at what's called the TIPS yield, the inflation adjusted yield. That 10-year has gone to 2.5%. Now, when you have a 20 PE stock market, which is pretty much what we have now with these declines, that's a 5% yield real on the market. So there's still a margin there, 2.5%. That's a little bit lower than historically, but it's still an edge that I think is important on stocks versus bonds. So I would agree, not yet a threat, but if we see those real yields continue to rise, there's no question. I mean, that's the other end of the scissors. You have the denominator of interest rates, you have the numerator of earnings, and if those interest rates go up, whatever earnings are, that might not be enough to offset.
What he's saying is that earnings are important, but the interest rate environment is way more important to the overall sentiment of the stock market.